Welcome back. Today we're going to dive into some timeless wisdom for our crazy modern lives. We are cracking open the first few chapters of one of the most profound texts ever written, the Tao Te Ching.
So let's just jump right in with a question that seems, well, a little strange, right? But I promise you, it gets to the very heart of so much of our daily stress. It might sound simple, but getting this unlocks a totally new way of seeing everything.
So, what's the problem? According to the Tao Te Ching, it's this thing we do all day, every day. We label everything. We judge, we categorize, and that, it suggests, is a huge source of why we so often feel dissatisfied.
And this right here is the core idea from Chapter 2. The second you define something as good, you automatically create evil in your mind. The moment you call something beautiful, you've just created the concept of ugly. You literally can't have one without the other.
Now you might be thinking, so what? But this habit of splitting everything into two, it's not just some abstract philosophical idea. It has real, profound consequences. It basically turns life into this endless game of comparison where we're constantly measuring everything and everyone, including ourselves.
And that game? It has some serious social fallout. Chapter 3 really nails it. When we decide to praise the wise, what happens? People start competing to be seen as wise. When we decide some object is a rare good, guess what? Theft goes up. The second you put something on a pedestal, you've created a frantic race to get it and a whole lot of envy and that feeling of just not being enough.
Okay, so if this whole world of labels and competition is a trap, how do we get out? Well, the book offers an escape hatch. And it's not about trying harder to win the game. It's about seeing the game for what it is. And that understanding comes from this central concept called the Tao.
So, let's talk about the Tao. I'll admit, it's a bit mysterious, but it's absolutely fundamental. It's not just another label or idea. It's presented as the answer to that whole trap we were just talking about.
And right off the bat, Chapter 1 throws us a total curveball. It basically says, the Tao you can talk about isn't the real Tao. The moment you put a name on it, you've missed the point. It's undefinable. You can think of it like the universe's source code, the underlying operating system that was running long before anything we know even existed.
Okay, that's pretty abstract, right? So Chapter 4 gives us this powerful metaphor to help us get our heads around it. The Tao is like an empty bowl or an empty vessel.
It seems like nothing, just empty space. But here's the kicker. From this apparent emptiness, everything arises. It's an infinite, inexhaustible wellspring of all creation and potential that you can never, ever use up.
So, if you put it all together, the big idea is this. The Tao is just the natural, flowing order of the universe. It's this quiet, effortless force, kind of like gravity, that guides everything without ever forcing or controlling it.
Okay, so this philosophy is beautiful and all, but how do you actually live like that? I mean, what does that look like day to day? Well, this is where the Tao Te Ching gets incredibly practical. It gives us another amazing metaphor, not to define the Tao, but to show us how to move with it.
And that metaphor is water. The book tells us if you want to tap into that effortless power of the Tao, you have to learn to be like water.
Just listen to this line from Chapter 8. I mean, that's a whole life philosophy right there, isn't it? It completely flips our usual thinking on its head. Instead of always striving to be the best, what if we just tried to be the most beneficial? And it breaks down into these three amazing qualities. First, water nourishes everything it touches without asking for anything back. Second, it always seeks the lowest place. Think about that. It flows to the humble, overlooked spots that most people avoid. And third, it adapts to any form, yet it's powerful enough to wear away the hardest rock. Now that is a powerful alternative to being rigid and competitive all the time. All right, so we've got the problem, this world of labels, we've got the underlying principle, the Tao, and we have the model, water. So how do we put this all together? What does it actually look like to live in the flow every day?
This is what the book calls the practice of the sage, and it's all about this idea of acting without action. It doesn't mean do nothing. It means you act. You accomplish amazing things, but you don't claim ownership. You lead by putting others first. You do great work, but you don't cling to the credit. And crucially, you know when the job is done and it's time to just step back. You release that desperate grip your ego has on the outcome.
And really, that's the whole shift right there. It's moving from forceful, exhausting striving to, well, effortless flowing. It's about aligning your actions with the natural way of things. Imagine a boatman steering with the current instead of trying to row against it. You use way less energy and you get much, much further.
And that leaves us with this final thought. Now, this isn't a call for laziness or inaction. It's about letting go of all that frantic, forceful effort that creates so much resistance in our lives. It's an invitation to ponder what might happen if you simply trusted the flow and allowed things to unfold.